Hi, guys. Hi, Mindful You. It's Mrs. D or Coach Mary, whichever one. And I am your coach today. I'm so glad that you're here. Happy Monday. I hope that you had a great weekend and that your day's going well so far. All right. We're going to start today with a meditation that takes place in outer space. Outer space is where the moon, the planets, the stars, all of those things are in outer space. If you look at the slide that I have up right now, that's what outer space is. That's how we picture it. There's colors and stars and circles. It's all of that that's up in the sky. Here's another slide that reminds me of outer space, and I just want you guys to see this before we start the meditation. There on the left, we have a space shuttle. And on the right, we have pictures of astronauts inside of a space shuttle. So a space shuttle is what people get in, right? Like a rocket ship takes you into outer space. And then the people who are inside of it are called astronauts. And they have to wear those suits so that they can breathe. And you know what else? If you've ever seen video of people inside of a spaceship or a space station, they float around because there's nothing to keep them on the ground. That's called gravity. And we have that here on Earth, but they don't have that in outer space. So people float around. And that you're going to need to know that for our meditation today. All right. So this one is a visualization meditation where we get to picture things and we get to use our imagination. Lots of kids I know like these types of meditations. And remember, why do we do meditations? It's to build our mindfulness muscle. It's to build our superpower to notice things like feelings and thoughts, to notice what's happening right now in this moment. Our ability to refocus when we start daydreaming or when we start worrying about the future or the past. So let's do that today during our space meditation. Let's practice our mindfulness. When your mind wanders, no big deal, just notice it. Our mind produces lots and lots of thoughts. It's a machine, thought-producing machine. That's what it's supposed to do. So when you notice that your mind has wandered, guess what? You're being mindful. Bring it back to what you're supposed to be doing. Bring it back to my voice, okay? Are you ready for blast off? For the beginning of our space meditation, you're going to need your imagination and your mindfulness. First, get comfortable. You can sit or lie down and close your eyes. And I'm going to take myself off of the picture. Okay, guys. Let's picture a spaceship, like the one you saw in the picture. It's already taken off. You've already blasted off, and now you're floating in outer space. You're inside of the spaceship, and your body feels very light. There's no gravity. So you're floating around in a room inside the ship. Notice how your body feels. It's so light and it's so free. Focus on your arms. Notice how relaxed they feel. They're so relaxed that if you don't think about keeping them down by your side on purpose, they're just going to float up in the air. Isn't that funny? Notice how relaxed they are. Use your imagination to notice how your arms feel and relax them even more. Melt them so that they're by your side in your spacesuit. Now look around you. Notice the windows in the room that you're in. Are they small windows or big windows? Float over to the windows. Oh, it's kind of cold near the window. Do you feel it? Imagine feeling cold. Imagine your fingertips being cold. Look outside the window now. What do you see? Use your imagination and notice what's out there. Do you see the sun? Is it close or far? Do you see lots of colors? Do you see stars? Are they big or small? Do you see planet Earth? What color is it? Notice the colors. I want you to really imagine that you're looking out of your spaceship window right now. And I'm going to give you a couple seconds. I won't talk, and I want you to notice what you're seeing. If your mind wanders, say to yourself, what am I seeing outside of my window right now? What am I seeing outside of my spaceship window? Now let's move away from the window. You're still floating. Feel how light your body is. And go over to the control panel with the buttons on it. Picture yourself floating over there. And now look at the buttons on that control panel. Notice, are there lots of buttons or only a few buttons? Are they big or are they little? Are they all the same color? Remember, if your mind wanders away from my voice, that's okay. Bring it back to my voice. Use your imagination. Picture yourself pressing the buttons. Are they cold? Are they hard buttons? Are they soft buttons? Again, notice how light your body is. Take a big breath and blow it out. It's time to head back to our room in the spaceship, your own room that has a bed in it. Picture yourself floating out of the room you were in, and now you're floating down a hallway of the spaceship. Notice how light your body feels and how it floats through the hallway. At the end, you find your room with your bed in it. Push yourself into that room and float over to that bed. Go ahead and lay down. Take a big breath, blow it out, and relax your spacesuit body. Take one more big breath. Blow it out. Open your eyes. Wow. That was pretty relaxing for me. I hope it was for you guys too. I know a lot of kids like the visualization meditations where we get to really use our imaginations and focus on fun things like that. Okay, I'm back. Let's do a poll. I'm curious, how many of you would really want to go into a spaceship and be in outer space? How many of you would really do it? I'm putting the poll up now, and let me see. Okay, we've got a solid no out there. The first answer is yes, and the second answer is no. Would you go to outer space in a spaceship? I'm surprised. Okay. At first we're going back. At first we were about half and half. Half of us would and half wouldn't. And then it kind of was going like this. More people wanted to go. And now it looks like our poll's finished. I'm going to go ahead and close it. Okay. It looks like we're about half and half. So it sounds like half of you think, yeah, I'd do that. I'd do that. And half of you think, nope, not for me. Space is far, far away from us. That's why we call it outer space, because there's so much space between us here on Earth and all of those things we're seeing, the stars, planets, asteroids, all the cool stuff that's out there. That's outer space, right? There's also something here on Earth among the people and the animals called personal space. Here on Earth between people. and animals. We all have personal space. It's not something you can see, but it's an imaginary field around you that everyone has. Everybody has it. Even animals have it too, this imaginary field called personal space. When I see this picture, it reminds me of personal space. All right, see that hamster? He's inside of this bubble. And his is really a bubble, but ours is like an imaginary bubble. That's our personal space. Look at his face. He doesn't like someone getting close to him, probably. Personal space. It's like an imaginary bubble around you, okay? Some people can get in my personal space and it doesn't bother me. You're the same way if you think about it. These people are probably your mom or your dad, a grandma or grandpa, maybe your sister or brother, people in your family, whoever you're okay with hugging you. Those are people that you're okay with being in your personal space. Let me show you again. I want you to do something to figure out where your personal space is. Hold your arms out in front of you like this. Let's see if you guys can see me. Yeah, you got it. Hold your arms out in front of you. And now spread them around you like this. This is like a bubble, like that hamster has. This is your personal space. I hope you guys do that so you can feel your personal space. When people get in that space, sometimes you're okay with it, like the people I just mentioned. Mom, dad, family members, people you're close to. If you're okay with them hugging you, you're probably okay with them in your bubble, your personal space. Now, there's going to be times where people get in your personal space and you do not feel very good about that. I'm going to show you a picture of people in each other's personal space and they think it's okay. Let me see. Yep. I can tell those people think it's okay because they have a smile on their face and they look pretty happy. They look okay. I see in this picture maybe it's a mom and a kid, or maybe like an aunt and a niece or nephew, and they're okay in each other's bubble in their personal space. Now this other picture, it looks like kids holding hands, jumping into the ocean or maybe a great big lake, and they look like they're okay with being in each other's personal bubble, their personal space. So that's comfortable and good. I'm going to find out. I'm going to put a poll up, you guys. I'm curious who you're okay with being in your bubble. And I want you to think about it. Remember, you have a bubble. So who are you okay with being in your bubble? Are you okay with your parents being in your bubble? Your teacher being in your bubble? A police officer being in your bubble? Or your brothers and sisters being in your bubble? And you can vote for more than one. Okay? And if you're watching this recorded and you're not watching the live version, I want you to think about it. Who are you comfortable being in your bubble? Parents? Teacher? Police officer? Brothers and sisters? All right, guys, I'm going to close the poll in a minute. It looks like a lot of us are comfortable with our parents being in our bubble and with our brothers and sisters being in our bubble. Not many of us feel comfortable with a police officer being in our bubble. And a couple of us are comfortable with our teacher being in our bubble. Okay, thanks, guys. Yeah, so it looks like a lot of us feel the same way. Mostly family members, we are all feeling okay with being in our bubble. Now, I'm going to show you a video, and it's of someone getting into someone else's personal space, into their bubble. And I want you to see what happens here.
Hey! What's your name? My name's Buddy. someone need a hug? I just wanted a hug!
Okay, some of you guys may have seen that movie before. It's called Elf. When I saw that video again, I really noticed that that raccoon is not happy about Buddy the Elf being in his personal space. The first time Buddy kind of gets close to his bubble, what does the raccoon do? He's like, ah. And then the second time Buddy gets close to his bubble, the raccoon ain't having any of it, and he jumps right up on him. Yeah. If you've ever had someone in your personal space and it's really bothered you, you might know about that. I know that I've had people in my personal space and it can bother me. Even people I love. Like, I'm okay with my parents being in my personal space, but sometimes I still get kind of irritated. I've never jumped on anyone's face like the raccoon did, but I felt irritated. I felt angry. I felt uncomfortable. Now, I think you guys all probably know what angry feels like, but do you know what irritated is? Irritated is when something is on your nerves and you feel really bothered by it. Let me show you a picture. All right, here's some irritated faces. If you look at that emoji, he's kind of got a frown a little bit. So you might think sad at first, but really it's not a full frown. Really look at him. He's kind of got these eyes like, that is the face of irritation, kind of bothered. And look at that puppy up there. If you have a dog or even a cat, you know when they kind of get a little irritated, right? They get bothered. It's not really angry, not quite angry, but bothered. Look at that puppy's face. I can pretend to hear him like, "Rrr." And then look at that girl beneath him. She looks very irritated. That's what irritated looks like. She looks bothered and annoyed. People feel that a lot when people get in their personal space. I know I have felt that way before. So you may feel angry, you may feel irritated, and you may feel an emotion called uncomfortable. See that little girl's face? That is the feeling of uncomfortable. She really wants him to move. She feels it's kind of a combination of just, all of those, the irritated and angry and just not sure, confused and nervous, all mixed together. That's uncomfortable. And that is a feeling that happens a lot if someone gets in your personal space. That's a tough one. Have you ever had someone get in your personal space? I'm pretty sure you have, but I'm going to put up a poll just to see what you guys say. The question is, have you ever had someone get in your personal space? Yes or no? Okay. And remember, if you're watching the recorded version, I want you to think about it. Okay. Okay, here's what I'm seeing. Sorry, guys, I had to get a drink of tea there. What I'm seeing from our poll is that, almost everybody has had someone get in their personal space. And you're right. It's something we have to deal with. Okay, I'm going to close the poll, you guys. So if you haven't answered, go ahead and do that. Okay. That's right. We've all had people in our personal space, everyone. And the person who answered no, that's okay. But I bet if you think back, you may have, and you just didn't know it. So that means we've all felt a little bit like that raccoon in the video. We've all felt kind of irritated, angry, or uncomfortable. It's part of life. We have to accept that we're going to feel that way. This is a good time to be mindful, to notice those feelings, because if not, you're going to get stuck to them. All the people in the world who don't know about mindfulness, they're just walking around feeling all these feelings and getting stuck to them. But we're learning that we can notice them and then we can do something about it. Now, here's the problem with personal space. We all here on earth have to be in each other's personal space every day. And people are going to be in ours, we're going to be in theirs. Think about at school. Kids are in your space all the time, and teachers. When you're walking in the hallway, right, there's kids around you. Everyone's in each other's personal space. Let's say you're in a classroom and you have to line up. Well, anytime you're standing in a line, you're in someone's bubble. Or how about when you're in a classroom, but you're moving between desks? A lot of times you may end up getting in someone's bubble, in their personal space. If we don't know how to use our mindfulness, we're going to walk around just being irritated, uncomfortable, and maybe angry all the time because we're all in each other's space. All right, so I'm going to do some role playing here with a buddy of mine. Let me introduce you to him. This is Birthday Bear. He is a Care Bear, and I got him when I was probably in like first grade. My mom just found him recently and gave him to me. He's very clean still. Okay, so me and Birthday Bear are going to do some acting because I don't have any kids to act with me. See, like when I'm at school, you guys do the acting a lot of times. Excellent actors, but I don't have you with me. Makes me sad. So I'm using Birthday Bear here. All right. Here's the thing. We're going to pretend Birthday Bear is getting in my space. All right? Because I've got choices on how to act, but let's see what happens. Here's what I've seen some people do. I've seen kids do this at school. I've seen adults do this when I'm waiting in line at the store sometimes. All right, Birthday Bear's in my space. Ready? Action. Birthday Bear, get out of my space. God, it's so gross. You're so stupid. Okay, and cut. All right, so Birthday Bear was in my space. I reacted using mean words. That's one way you can react. And that's how you might react if you're getting stuck to those big feelings. All right, Birthday Bear, thank you for your acting. We're going to do it again. Okay, ready? Birthday Bear, action. He gets up in my space. We're getting in line. He turns, and I say, get out of my space. God, I hate this. I can't stand it when people are in my space. Cut. Okay, that's one way to react. I've definitely seen people react that way. Okay, so you can react that way if you want. Here's another way you could react if you're getting stuck to those emotions. All right, Birthday Bear, enter. Birthday Bear, he's up in my space. We're in line, and action. God, this is so stupid. I hate when people are in my space. I'm out of here. Okay, I'm not really out of here. That's just acting. So, Birthday Bear's in my space. I can yell. I can say mean words. I can get up and leave. Here's another one. Ready? Action. Birthday Bear coming up. Birthday Bear's in my space. Hey, you're in my space. You're in my space. This is my bubble. Remember Mrs. D taught us about bubbles? You're in my bubble. Cut. Okay. You can act that way too. You could tap on someone's shoulders and try annoying them. If you're not mindful, you might get stuck to those emotions that happen when someone's in your personal space, in your bubble. You might, but I'm glad you guys are learning about being mindful so that you can catch yourselves, because it would not be fun to walk around feeling all grumpy all day, because people got to be in your space and you got to be in their space. All right. That's not the real me either. You know, we've talked about this a lot. Who do you want to be? What's important to you? I remember Coach Heather did this cool activity last week where you kind of had to move the guy through the box, and he had to think about what was important to him to get him to move through the box. I got to think about that too when I'm feeling those big emotions. What's important to me? Who do I want to be? I'm going to pull up a slide for you guys here. What's important to me? Who do I want to be? Now, I want you to look at this situation that's coming up here. These are some kids in lunch line. But we're going to say that this lunch line, they're all standing too close to each other. They're in each other's bubble. And you can see one kid may not be feeling very good about that. They're in each other's bubbles, okay? And I want you to picture what it feels like if you're in your cafeteria at school and you're in line and you're feeling a little irritated because people are in your personal space. We'll call them space invaders. Space invaders, they're in your personal space, your bubble. I want you to really picture what that feels like. Use your imagination like we did earlier in our meditation. Notice how you feel. Notice how you feel. Now, I'm curious, how can you react to someone when they're in your bubble, when you're being mindful? I showed you what to do when you weren't being mindful. But if you were going to mindfully react, if you were going to try to work on making yourself chill, being the real you, thinking about what's important to you, where you're not stuck to your feelings and your thoughts, what would you do? So I'm curious. Give me a minute here. I'm going to open the chat. What would you do if you're in line in the cafeteria and someone is, or people around you, more than just one person, they're in your bubble? Chat is open, guys. I'm curious. Go ahead and type what you think. I'm going to put one in there. What would you do if someone was in your bubble? Okay. I see some people kind of thinking like I'm thinking. Okay. We've got some good ideas out there. Definitely up for discussion here. Okay. So ignore it is one thing. You can do that. If you can do that. Okay. Another one is you can use your words to possibly say like, hey, could you move back a little bit? I need some space. Okay. These are different ideas. Someone said I'd be agitated, but I'd accept it. Well, I see some kids I know from Mascuda on there. Hi, guys. You could walk away. Now, sometimes that's a great option. Sometimes walking away is a great option because it gets you out of the situation. Sometimes we can't walk away. We have to stay in that line. So if you can leave, that's not a bad option. If you have to stay, you may have to do what I'm seeing here, which is accept it. And you can just kind of say like, okay, this isn't forever. Who do I want to be? Or you could say like, hey, can I have a little space here? So there's a lot of different ideas. Wow, I love how you guys were thinking. I'm going to go ahead and turn the poll off, the chat off for now. Okay. Okay, guys. Oh, I love you. We had some good problem solvers there. I'd much rather you guys do those things than get fused or stuck to those big emotions. Okay. Nice work. So let's talk about it. We only have a few more minutes, but if you do accept or ignore, right? First, you have to notice what you're feeling. And then we can use some strategies that we've learned to calm ourselves. You can think, this isn't forever. This isn't forever. Who do I want to be? What's important to me? What's important to me? I'm going to be that person right now. If it's important to me to sit down and eat my lunch, well, then I'm not going to throw a fit. I'm not going to get stuck to this emotion. It'll be over in a minute. This isn't forever. Here's another thing we've learned that can help us get through these emotions. Take a breath. We've learned lots of breaths. Some of the breaths we've learned have been quick breaths that you can do without people even knowing, like the hot cocoa breath. You can just imagine breathing in the hot cocoa, blowing on it to cool it out, cool it off. Now, we've learned some other cool breaths, but you may not want to do the butterfly or the elephant when you're standing in the lunch line. But those are great breaths to do when you're at home. But you can pull out some of the other breaths or counting. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3, breathe out, 1, 2, 3. Next thing you know, you're moving through the line. You may have been feeling very agitated, and then maybe you're feeling a little less agitated, because we're going to feel that way when people are in our personal space, right? You guys did a great job today. It can be tough when people are in our personal space, and we can get stuck to those feelings and fuse to them and get hooked by them. Or we can accept it. We can solve the problem, which is like walking away, like some of you guys said. Sometimes you can't walk away. You could ask the person to move. Sometimes you don't want to do that either. Sometimes you just need to deal with it on the inside. So you can say to yourself, I'm okay. This isn't forever. Who do I want to be? Who do I want to be? What's important to me? I know I'm irritated, but what's important to me? All right. Man, you guys did awesome today. You did awesome. I didn't even get to my drawing activity. There's a lot to think about. I hope you like the space meditation. Think about your personal space. I'd love for you to notice today who you let in there and who you don't. And take care. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.